Get ready to take a look behind the scenes and enter the impossible for the Between Two Minds podcast with our hosts, Judge Mentalist and Bernardo Rodriguez. Can they really tell you what you're thinking?
All right. Good afternoon. This is Judge Mentalist, giving you the first of what will hopefully be many interviews here live from the Michigan Hypnosis Conference. I am in Detroit, Michigan, and I am with my guest, another presenter here at the Michigan Hypnosis Conference, Connie Jo Holmes. Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. I haven't been outside since midnight last night, so I don't know if it's sunny Detroit or what the weather's like, because we're in a hotel conference room with no real access to the real world. So,
right.
Connie, you presented a keynote this morning. Mm-hmm. Tell us just briefly about who you are, because you're going out there on my channel for the first time, and
yes.
many people, your expertise falls more in the realm of lifestyle crafting and more in the clinical, whereas I play games on stages and
yes.
do fun, silly stuff like
yes.
that. So let's tell the watchers, the listeners, wherever they're taking this in, a little bit more about you and your background.
Okay, thank you very much. So I am Connie Jo Holmes, and I am the founder of my company, which is called Be You to Be Full Hypnosis and Coaching. And my company is titled that very intentionally, because my mission is in my company name. I teach individuals how to be authentic, the Be You. And when you're authentic, then it's just natural and easier to live a very fulfilled life. And then I spelled it a little weird on purpose, intentionally, because I also wanted that word to look and sound like beautiful, because that's the secondary part of my message. You're beautiful as you are beautiful as you are right now. You're just enhancing yesterday's version of you.
Fantastic. And you had a really powerful and moving talk this morning.
Thank you.
And obviously you're drawing on your life experiences and things like that. Give me just like the elevator pitch. I mean, nobody's going to come to the keynote that you already gave, but let's just treat this like we're promoting that, so that obviously there's a lot of what you talked about today that goes into what you do for people.
Yes. So the high level elevator pitch, and tell me if I'm not answering this correctly, it was titled Living Intentionally. And how I brought that in was really thinking about the legacy that we not only want to leave behind, but that we also want to live. Because it's one thing to leave something behind, but why not live it along the way? So living intentionally and having your values be the guidepost for that. And then during my talk, I was able to sprinkle in, I think, some nice little pro tips and different ideas and suggestions for helping our clients and working with them in a variety of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the important takeaways from it, again, from like a 38,000 foot view, would be understanding the difference between goals, which many people have been trained their entire life to have, and values, which are very, very, I think there can be a lot of overlap, but very different.
Yes. And so what I said in my talk, and I tell my clients this all the time too, goals are something that you want to achieve, but values are something that you want to be. And so when you are maybe struggling in your life and maybe not accomplishing your goals, think about it in terms of your values, because when you do that, possibly that can help you actually reach your goals. Tapping into your values.
So how do you... I'm trying to think of how to phrase this question, but how do you, other than coming to talk to folks at conferences like this, which is of course a very specialized group of people, how do you get your message out to people? How do you help people? What are ways in which people can work with you, I guess?
Sure. I do a huge array of different things. So I do see clients one-on-one. And right now, kind of my pie chart at the end of the day, I am getting clients through my networking, collaborations, referrals, as well as my Google business page. And those are, without getting into the nitty-gritty numbers, it's about 33% almost for all of those. So it's a pretty, I guess, well-rounded, if you want to call it that. So I work with clients one-on-one in that regard. I also do a lot of collaborations. So in my community in Janesville, Wisconsin, I collaborate with a lot of like-minded businesses. So it's an opportunity for me to get my name out, have people have a little taste of some of the things I do. An example of that is once a month, I go to a local salt spa and I provide break the sugar addiction hypnosis in the salt cave. And so it's a great way to get paid a little bit of money by advertising my business. And I always get a new client every time I do it, or two, which is really wonderful. I also, for the past several years, I do have a YouTube channel. And so every Monday I come out with a Monday morning motivational video. So, and I might actually share my keynote up on my YouTube page, actually.
Yeah, you recorded it and you said, hey, we'll find some way to use this.
It's kind of a crappy recording though, so we'll see if I really can.
The
but
value is in the content, not necessarily the quality of the video.
Yeah, but the volume, I'm a little bit worried about that, but because you know the importance of audio,
yes.
with all of that. But anyway, so I do that as well. And so on my YouTube channel, I have almost 200 videos, and my topics, I talk about goals, I talk about values, I talk about fear, I talk about how to conquer fear with wonder thinking, getting curious, opening up your mind by getting curious so that you can conquer your fear. And a way to break through of any fear is to start to develop wonder thinking. I wonder what it would feel like to sit next to the judge and be on a podcast right now with not a whole lot of notice.
Not much of a stretch to know what that feels
right.
like. Well, we're here.
I wonder how this message is being received.
Well, we've got people in there and they're hitting the like button. So
good. Thank you.
I don't know if there's a down thumb, but don't hit it, please, unless you're actually feeling that way. So far, so good. As far as that YouTube channel, your website, they can get there from that? Which
Yes.
I put at the bottom of this.
Thank you so much. On my website, it's a way to get a hold of me in any way, but at the footnote, if you will, of my pages, I do have all my social media channels. And I would like to ask, because I am trying to grow I don't use that word anymore, but I just said it. I am striving to increase my subscribers on my YouTube channel. So if you kind souls would go out there and check it out and like a video or two and then subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And subscribing to somebody's YouTube channel, if you don't already know, for whatever reason, is absolutely free. And it's a great way, especially with you posting a regular Monday morning or whenever it comes with a routine drop. You don't have to remember when that is. You can turn on a notification setting, get that. I think it's like a little bell or something. I mean, you're probably watching this on YouTube, so it's probably right there on my channel. But do the same here, especially if you are watching this and attending the Michigan Hypnosis Conference. If you want to be alerted when we go live, that's the best way to do it. Or you can just look down the hallway. Full disclosure, we're right by the bathrooms. Normally, this backdrop is going to be fully behind us, but they needed to move the things out for the open bar beer cart tonight, and we found that to be important.
Priorities.
So we started this kind of as they were wheeling through. You may have already seen some people coming through, and we just didn't bother to move it back because, again, the message is more important than what it looks like. You've written some books as well, correct?
I have. You are really good. You are really good.
I try.
I have 4 published books. My very first one is actually titled after my company name. It's called Be You to Be Full. Learn the Art of Self-Acceptance for a Life of Confidence and Fulfillment. So you'll see some consistency in everything I do, building confidence and creating a life of fulfillment. But since it's a book, I spelled it properly, unlike my company name, because I thought I better do that, right?
Absolutely.
And then my last 3.
Well, I mean, if you want anybody to be able to find it
right
on, Amazon or where else do we buy books these days? I guess it's probably Amazon.
Right.
And yeah, that's kind of important.
Well, and on that note, that's why my website is Connie Jo Holmes. I started with my website as Be You to Be Full, but I would go on podcasts and it became a pain in the butt to say the letter B, the letter U, the number 2. So I just changed it to Connie.
It's right there. And in the description of the episode, you will see a link that will take you to all of Connie's social media and other sort of things. If you want to book a session or anything like that, it's a big long list of links that'll get to all the stuff for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, you have something
I was going to say, on that note, thank you very much. On that note, on my website, and something I am promoting, I do come to you with 30 years of corporate experience. And even though I've worn many different hats in corporate America, at the end of the day, I was always involved in project management and strategic planning. So for that reason, I have a 6-week intensive masterclass that's coming out, and it is titled Business Development and Strategic Planning Intensive Masterclass. And it is going to be 6 weeks long, and it is a done with you class. So that means when you show up and we do the work together, you will, if you show up at the class and you do everything, you will have a beautifully written strategic plan at the end of six weeks. But since values are so important to me and to, the work that we do, you're also going to have your business values identified as well as defined for you. We're going to have an alignment calendar for your efficiency. You are also going to understand at a high level profit first, and that's actually written by a book. It's a concept of profit first, but also understanding your cash flow, because your cash flow makes a huge difference between the success of your business. And then lastly, we're going to have a content calendar that's going to be whenever you have events coming up, promotions, how you can backtrack that so you can promote it properly. So you're going to get a lot of stuff out of this class, hence the name intensive. And once you sign up, you are going to have a behind the scenes library with access to all sorts of resources to help you along the way, in addition to our live class times on Zoom.
Well, I mean, that sounds fantastic. I mean, the one thing that really stands out to me, I mean, everything that you just said there seems super valuable to business owners, whether you think that you're successful or not, and maybe you want to take things to the next level. But where I see everybody, and I mean everybody, struggle. Well, everybody that matters, because no offense to influencers, but they've figured it out. But content creation and content planning, because if I'm gonna pull one of these little adages out of the air here. Okay, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail, which is absolutely true. Being able to develop that, because it's what all of us do. We're like, oh, I feel like I need to post something fresh. And you're scrambling around to come up with something, and you're putting together, for lack of a better term, half-ass content. Whereas if we'll pull another one, begin with the end in mind, start there and work back, you can put together a plan. And then now, and I'm sure you'll cover this in there, but there's so many things to schedule this stuff.
Oh, so many.
You legitimately can put together a 3-month plan that you do in an afternoon.
Yep.
And then forget it.
Right. And then the overarching strategic plan, that's why I want to do values as well, because to understand what your business and personal values are. Maybe they're going to be synonymous. Maybe they're going to be a little bit different, your personal values versus your business values. And having those help you with that strategic plan development as well. And just that overarching, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? What are my, key performance measures? Those types of things, so that you know that you're on the right track. And then also giving things that you do enough time to stick. Because how many times do we do something and we have low attendance? And we're like, that's crap. That was just terrible. So I'm going to go do this. And then if we would have just repeated what we had done, our attendance is going to grow. So things like that. But the reason why we would get there is because you're going to have the strategic plan that's going to be the blueprint for your business. And you're going to find so many efficiencies when you do this. This also is, I timed it very strategically for my strategic planning. It's going to run from the end of October until the very first part of December. That way, you've got the rest of December to just kind of tidy up anything that maybe you need to do, but it is a done with you. So again, you're going to have it completed. But if there's anything you want to, maybe really get things in line for you even further or something like that, then you can hit the ground running fresh January 1. So then you're going to have that whole year to utilize this and beyond, but then you're going to be able to start fresh 1/1/25 with all of your numbers and being able to track everything.
So look, you want to do something big as let's call it a New Year's resolution. The time to start is now, and to go to Connie's website, because as she said, it's going to gear you up to be ready to just blow everything up in a very positive way come January 1st, which is fantastic. Now, one of the takeaways from your keynote that I really like, it is written down. I'm ready. So at home in my day job as an attorney, I'm part of a weekly business networking group. So there's about almost 40 different businesses that are in that group. And normally, every quarter, 2-3 times a year, everybody has an opportunity to do a full presentation to that group. And normally we talk about our business. Sometimes we talk about families, but those 5 steps and those 5 key points to kind of just the way that it works within your organization and kind of understanding I'm sitting there looking at that, and I realize that this is something that all of the people that are in my group, just going through that little piece with them to understand, because, everybody thinks about, hey, I run this business to make money. I run this business to have an income, to put food on the table, a roof over my head, and everything like that. The people who are part of my team that work for me show up to earn a wage and do all of the same things to make money. But to shift that paradigm and say, hey, as a group, what is it that we do? What are we providing to the community? What is the why? Because is it true that I show up there to make money and earn a living? Is it true that you show up there to make money and earn a living? Yes, but people don't pick up the phone and call my office so that I can make a living.
Right.
So what is the thing that we are doing?
Yes.
What is the why that we're servicing our customers, and how, and to just really create that culture where we understand as a team that we're not showing up. What we're doing is bigger than just making a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Super valuable, super important. I'm assuming that your course goes into a lot of that as well.
Yeah, we're going to cover some of that in the strategic plan. So to elaborate a little bit with what you said, this was in my keynote, one, it was a message to everyone in the seats this morning, but it was also take some of this information and use it for your clients as well. And so the one specifically is when people have a goal that they're working on, it is so important to know your why. Hence Simon Sinek's book, The Power of Why, and I think his TED Talk or whatever. But anyway, so your why is so important because your why drives you, but that's only going to drive you so far. I feel it's so important to know who are you going to be once you reach that goal, because that who is what sustains you. So, and I used weight loss as an example in my keynote, but being 50 pounds lighter, you're a whole different person. You're moving better, you're moving quicker, you're thinking clearer, you feel better. So you are going to be a different person. So tapping into that who is so important. And then when you can start to glean in on that who on your way to that goal, then when you reach that goal, it's just so much natural to follow it through. So that was a little nugget that I gave, but I wanted to elaborate on that with what you just shared. So.
Well, awesome. Any last thoughts? Anything else that you want to add in here that we should talk about?
No, other than this, I appreciate this opportunity. And I really did enjoy giving the keynote just because, like I said, it was for the attendees today, but so many of them were takeaways. Let me share the 5 exemplary qualities of leadership, because I love this. I won't share my long story with it. I learned this in corporate America like 25 years ago, and I live it and breathe it every day. So first of all, everyone watching this, we're all leaders in our own way. A leader is not the big fat title, the big fat salary, the big fat corner office. Everyone is a leader in our own way. And it's important to empower ourselves and know that. But the 5 exemplary qualities of a leader are: model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. I just love those. And so if you're a hypnotherapist, if anything like that, we're doing that with our clients all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And just think about all the different areas of your life where we are modeling the way constantly. So thank you.
Excellent. So we're going to be here all weekend at the Michigan Hypnosis Conference. If you are seeing this and you're here and you didn't get, if you have questions about Connie and her keynote, want to follow up with those, you're around all weekend, yes?
Yes.
Yep. And you have a table down the hall as well.
Here, yes.
So I think you have some of your books there and everything like that.
Yep.
You can obviously get more information about the master class and everything else that's going on, or just to connect in general, to network and otherwise. Come see me. Like I said, I'm at the end of the hall. I'm doing these. Obviously, we want you to come and do these interviews if you're a presenter, but maybe you're just here as an attendee and you have, goals and aspirations and things that you are doing outside of here that you are coming here to further them for. You want to sit down and talk? We'll do it. Here it is. So, thank you so much for joining me.
I just thought, did you know where you're going to be originally? Because we could have had a sign like podcast and pee and podcast.
That's
podcast.
Welcome
and
to
poop.
Podcast and Pee.
Because the bathrooms
or
are
number
right there.
2, if that's for you. Here we go. Yes, we are down the hall by the bathroom. I absolutely did not know exactly where I was going to be because
you could have played up
if
on
I
that.
did, and I knew I was going to be in the middle of a hallway where when I put the banner out behind me that it goes exactly wall to wall, it might have been a different arrangement. I thought I was going to be in the back of one of the conference rooms and doing this when people weren't speaking. So,
right.
Well, again, thank you very much. Make sure you check out Connie's website and everything like that. And until next time, we'll see you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Between Two Minds Behind the Scenes podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media under Between Two Minds with the number 2 instead of TWO, or under Enter the Impossible. Thank you, and we hope to see you back for the next episode.